I'm switching up my omega-3 fatty acids, so mostly because this seems to be a little bit cheaper. I got them from Amazon. These are also from Amazon. These were actually the only ones I found where I could only take 4 capsules and still have 2000 milligrams of EPA, which is the standard dose recommended by Huberman. Not necessarily recommended by Huberman, but Huberman just got all the different studies and said that this seems to be the threshold upon which has very good benefits. Especially also the benefit that it seems to act kind of like an antidepressant or have very similar effects to it. Now, this one, the smaller container, comes in this smaller container, and despite the fact that it only requires 4, and with the newer one I require 6 capsules, I decided to switch to these because I will continue to take these, since I already have taken these for quite a lot of time. Not that this would be a solid argument for continuing to take these, it just seems that there is evidence out there that makes it reasonable to take these. So I switched to these mostly because they seem to be a little bit cheaper. So if I can reduce the cost of my overall stack, which is electrolytes, also turmeric, also vitamin capsules, but also creatine, then I might as well, because this then increases my financial ability in the future. So now unpacking these, you already begin to maybe see a pattern that this now is the same brand. So I have the same brand for this, for this, for this. So I've also figured I have then a similar look in my kitchen cabinet, which would also be nice maybe. Or at least I have very similar bottles, which I also could use for something else if I want to. Now, in terms of how big they are, I also had a different brand before from German drugstore DM, but they seem to have a little bit more on the outer shell. So the bigger the outer shell is, the more it kind of is unnecessary calories, because these have calories. Of course, the fish oil itself also has calories, but the capsules are actually just there in order to ingest it and then they dissolve. But they seem to often have a little bit of calories, which are basically unnecessary calories. So now if we take a look inside, then we see that these look very similar to the ones I had before, but I cannot show you these because I used them all up. So I actually haven't. So in order to not have to interrupt my supplementing when I'm traveling or when I'm out and about and I forget about it, or I just travel 2 days somewhere, I do actually have this supplement stack also in a small version, basically in here. I just don't know where. I think it's down here. So I got a few different containers and I got basically containers for all the different supplements. So these are actually containers from something else, but it doesn't really matter. So in here I have the turmeric, in here I have a few capsules of electrolytes. I do not have too many containers of these. These are vitamin capsules, but these seem to not survive well without basically no air. So these get these little points on there, which initially were not there. So maybe there seems to be some process of, I don't know what it is called, oxygenation going on. So these were the old ones I actually had from this brand called Avalabs. Seems to be a Swedish brand or Finnish brand. These seem to be a little bit sturdier. The newer ones I have, the other ones you are able to bend a little bit more, which probably also means that there is less of the outer shell. Now, putting these back, of the old ones I needed only 4, of the newer ones I will need 6 in a given day, which of course again increases basically the likelihood that I will continue to take it, similar to how I recently switched to capsules in terms of the creatine, because the powdered form just took a little bit too long, so I often didn't take it. But of course it makes sense to take it. There also seems to be this effect where your muscles then over time are satiated by creatine, and you achieve this effect only if you constantly ingest creatine. Now this here comes with 240 soft shields, and it has 2000 grams of fish oil, providing 660 milligrams of EPA and 440 milligrams of DHA per serving. It's marked as a high source of EPA and DHA, no artificial colors or flavors, and GMO-free ingredients. So 2 soft gels have 2 milligrams. So this means 1 soft gel has 1 milligram. But now in order to get the doses of 2 grams of EPA, just to standardize basically the dosage of both combined, which sometimes there are different ratios of DHA to EPA, I obviously have to take 6, which then amounts to almost exactly 2,000 milligrams of EPA and 12,000 milligrams of fish oil. This bottle here was almost exactly 20 euros, which amounts to 8 cents per capsule, which means I pay 48 cents per day for my omega-3 fatty acids. This then will last with 6 capsules a day, 1.3 months I think. So the price I think was between 15 to 17 euros per month for my fish oil supplementation. With the one before I paid a little bit more. This one was I think 23 or 24 euros per bottle, but it only comes with 120 soft gels, of which I need 4 in a given day. Meaning it exactly lasts for 1 month, which means it's 24 euros per month. So if we just say 24 divided by 16, this gives us a 50% price difference, which might not sound much, but if we take this for 10 years, then it's still a 50% price difference. Obviously joking, but let's say for 10 years, it's 8 euros I save per month by switching to these other capsules. So we multiply the 8 by the 50, not by the 52, but by the 12, and then this means I can save 96 euros a year more. Over the time span of 10 years, it's already 1,000 euros if I didn't invest it in any kind of way, but by just summing up the price difference. And since I probably also will begin to take different kind of things in the future, not just electrolytes, it just makes sense to try to reduce the costs somehow, because otherwise the supplement stack might also begin to tear on your finances.